Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy Neostarling, and I am back here with a podcast from PAX East 2025 here in Boston, Mass. And this is in the Boston Convention Center. I know it's going to be really difficult to hear things properly, but I think you will. I will put this in the processor later and take out some of the background noise, so hopefully, you'll be able to hear this properly. I kind of wanted to just take a moment and talk about my experience from previous years where throughout the years, as you start doing this, you start to wonder if it's worth doing. I know that when I came here back in 2013, that was the first time I came here. I came here in 2013, then I showed up back in 2018 for a brief stint. Now we're in 2025 and everything is different. The people that were little kids walking around, they're all grown-ups now, are older, and they are sort of the future. They're the ones that are taking over. You kind of start to feel like the old man out sometimes, if I'm to be completely honest. And, I wanted to come out here and do some content. When I packed, it wasn't perfect. I didn't have my microphone. This mic actually I had to buy real quick at a Guitar Center, which I do plan on returning. I might keep it. And it's really difficult because I have so much equipment that I didn't bring with me. It's just sort of like being unprepared when I should have been more prepared. And the point that I want to get across to everybody is that if you really want to do something, if you want to go out there and just accomplish something, just do it. It doesn't really matter what's going on, who's around, who's watching you. There's like people walking by and, some of them will look at you like, oh, what the hell's this guy doing? But you know what? The people that are the movers, the shakers, the content creators that, get deals of promotions and, get to star in roles and do things of that nature, they have to do things publicly. They have to not be afraid to show their face and actually take a chance on themselves. You take a chance on you when you look at yourself in the mirror, before you get started with your day. There's always sort of that moment of contemplation. Who am I? Where do I stand out? Where do I belong in this world? And being at events like this is a constant reminder because I was looking for a motivation. There was a small part where when I was in Albuquerque and I had a speaking engagement there, I felt extremely motivated. I felt like I really wanted to do this. And after that, it kind of just like fizzled away into oblivion, It's really unfortunate that happened because I had a great time. And, the goal to come here today was to, get some content, film some stuff, talk to some people, play some new games that are going to come out, and just embrace our community because this is a very powerful and engaging community if you allow it to be. And, a lot of people that come here, I don't think typically fit into most places. So to be able to come here and just be together and just do what they love doing, it's amazing with the really cool cosplay outfits, with the other people that are out here trying to just make a name for themselves, just walking by and doing their thing. You can't be afraid to take a chance. You can't be afraid to be seen publicly. These are things that you kind of just have to do. And one message, if I were to get one across to anyone, is that at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how awkward you look doing something. It doesn't matter whether or not you feel like you're good enough. You get better with practice. Life is just a battle of attrition. The more you do things, the more you start to stand out and just do what you want to do. So just don't be afraid. Just embrace the change, embrace the world that you live in, and keep it moving. The first time I came here, it was a different world. 2013, I came here on a crowded bus with no air conditioning. I had to stay in a cramped hotel room with like 6 friends of mine. And then, fast forward to now, I'm able to drive here on my own power. I came here with some friends and, have been able to just do whatever we want. So, life does inevitably get better if you allow it to. But when you are afraid to engage with the world, then you're ultimately going to end up in the same place. So just get out there and do your thing. Whether you find this message hopeful, whether you think it started a little cynical, just realize that every year your experiences change and you're not going to be the same person that you were last year. Me, once again, for example, even looking at this area, physically it looks the same, but the people are different, the games are different, the engagements, the events are different, the way people cosplay are different. And there's more cameras all over the place than there were before. There's more engagement, there's more people independently like me, just trying to make like some sort of name for myself. And it's a beautiful thing to see, you know. Will everyone make it? No. It's unrealistic. It's impossible. How could everyone make it? If wishes were horses, we would all ride. So just keep that in mind and do what you feel is right for you, you know. Engage with the world, and whether it's in the gaming community, whether you're a writer, a poet, you know, a musician, a rapper, like whatever the case may be, just put yourself in those worlds, because that's the only way you're going to see some dividends from it. You might be scared in the beginning. It might be difficult. You might not have the courage to do it, but just get out there and do it. Fuck it. After all, what have you got to lose?